Hey everyone, my name is Shushankar and you are watching Crack Interview with Show. Friends, today's video is going to be indeed very special because today we have one of the Nuglars with us who is going to share his interview experience with us, his unique preparation strategy and some of the tips for us. So you will definitely observe difference at the end of this video. So let's start with the session. So, hi Nitin, first of all, congratulations for cracking Google and thanks for joining this session to share your interview experience. So, tell us more about yourself and your journey till Google.
Hi Shivshankar. About myself, I'm Nitin. Currently, I'm software engineer at Google. I've been working here for the past 2 months, and uh, right after college, I started working in media.net for 2 years, and then I switched to ShareChat, and now I'm in Google after 3 years of industry experience. So, yeah, that is it.
Yeah, that's great. So, Nitin, tell us how did you apply to Google? Because people are really eager to know, and I mean, it's really difficult to get your resume shortlisted and to apply at Google as well. So, how did you apply at Google?
I applied multiple times. Once I got a referral from my college friend, and but at that time, because of the pandemic and all the hiring issues, I was not able to get any interview. But then, uh, after after a year or so, recruiter reached out to me on LinkedIn, and uh, then the whole interview process started.
Yeah, so I think that's great. So I have heard from many people that Google's interview is really hard. So how was your preparation strategy? How did you prepare for Google?
There wasn't any particular process or any particular strategy that I followed for this. The interview process also happened so quick. I got a recruiter message, and then after 2 weeks, I had an interview. So there was short duration to prepare. Mostly, I used to do competitive programming in the college. Because of that, I had lot of grasp on the DSA and algorithms. That helped me a lot during the interviews as well because through computer programming you kind of get the idea of solving the problems in a time limit, which is a good thing. And other than that, I also have used Gigs for Gigs and Codechef. There is one blog in Codechef uh, where there are some curated problems, and also some of the other blogs which have detailed information regarding the topics. I referred that extensively. And I also have looked onto the lead code as well. Means I did some few of the lead code problems as well. Yeah, but wasn't any specific strategy that I followed.
So you used to do the competitive programming in your college days, and are you continuing the same from last 3 years as well? Because you have more than 3 years of experience now. And do you do the competitive programming regularly, or in other words, do you also solve the each problem completely? Or do you follow any DSS sheet or something? Tell us more about this.
Okay, so I regarding first question, do I do competitive programming now? So from last 3 years, I haven't done any competitive programming. After like college, I stopped doing competitive programming because when you come into the industry, then you don't get a time as well as you have to learn different things. So there is very less time to do the competitive programming. And um, also regarding your second question, did I solve every question while doing competitive programming? I would say uh, I used to look at the question and try to frame the answer in my mind, like mm, try to come up with a different solution. Try to give 15-20 minutes before looking at the editorial or before looking at the actual solution. I try to give 15-20 minutes to the problem, and sometimes I used to look into the editorial. Sometimes I used to solve the actual problem, depending upon the type of problem. Suppose that I have solved this type of problem. Like suppose this is a DP problem, and I have already solved DP problems multiple times. Then even though the problem might be different, I wouldn't try to go and solve this problem again, because now what I had to do was like just get the understanding of the actual problem rather than looking at the actual code. Other than that, Codechef and Code Forces blogs on different uh, different types of problems. Like on each topic, there are few. There are some famous blogs on Code Forces and Codechef. If you can read through those blogs and try to solve the question which have been there in that blog, then you pretty much get an idea of what kind of questions are there. Once you solve the question multiple times, see the patterns in the problem. So the key part is like solving multiple problems and try to think on the problem before going into the editorial. The main thing that I did was like solving only hard and medium problems. I did not go for the problems which I already have solved or which are similar to the previous problem, because uh, that will uh, that will not contribute to improving your problem solving skill, or just be like repeating the same code again, which is not that helpful. So I only tried to solve the difficult problems which I haven't repeated before. And also, I used to give like 15-20 minutes, or even at this beginning, I used to give like a 1 day to a problem. Uh, just to like get the because once you see the solution, then you kind of don't get the whole thinking process that went behind that answer. Like you don't see the multiple answers which were there, which might not have been that efficient in terms of time complexity or space complexity, but you don't see those problems. That is the problem. So uh, you have to give some time to each problem, and then go into the actual solution. But
Yeah.
you can't always give 1 day to a whole problem. So because in the college at the beginning, it was kind of like I had to give that much time because I just started out with this competitive program. Then later on, it was like just 1 hour or maybe 15 minutes only.
So you said you had only 2 weeks just after getting the call from recruiter for your interview, right? So what things you focused in those 15 days? Because you can't solve the problems and you can't look after each thing or each concept of data structure or everything. So what was your focus during those 15 days?
Yeah, so in those 15 days, I also had to work in Shellchat. So
Yeah.
then again, that time kind of becomes very less.
Yeah.
Uh, what I did was I just went through each type of the each uh, problem type. Like I saw like multiple DP problems and immediately saw the solutions. Like I kind of got the ideas of the solution on before only, but just to refresh the because I haven't been doing the competitive program for a lot of time, just to get the idea of it. I also saw the solution quickly, and then like that I just refresh all the concepts.
Yeah. So basically, you just try to get into the right mindset or get into the right context basically by looking at some of the core problems of the concepts.
So,
So
which were the
Standard
concepts?
problems of
oh yeah, so standard problems of each concept of data structure basically. Though your focus was
yeah, you can get it on the gigs for gigs as well, or as I said, there is a Codechef blog as well, and there are multiple, like every book, everywhere there are this core concept like recursion, DP, graph, tree. So you just have to go and read at least one of the problems, so you can.
yeah. But as you said before that, you had that idea. That's why you directly went for the code just to refresh the things, right? So you talked about code shape, lead code problems, and all. So do you also want to list down some of the resources which might be helpful for the college grads or the people which are preparing for companies like Google?
Yeah, I will talk in two different phases. So, if suppose a person is starting out directly, then suppose he is in first second year and he is aspiring to be work to do good in the industry, then he or she may refer to HackerRank, and there are some standard problems on the HackerRank. You can also sort them with the difficulty level. Uh, at the beginning, I used to do the coding on HackerRank only. To kind of also have the editorials and the difficulty level filters and all those things, which are quite helpful. And the problems are also really nice. They aren't much repeating. So the problems are mostly like non-repeating kind of problems. So and for the guys who already know the data structure algorithm concept, and they just want to improve their skills, then they can do coding on lead code and probably give few of the competitions on computer programming platforms as well, so that you can do the coding in time in specific time frame, because interview basically is restricted by the some specific time, so you have to do code in that specific time. So that is why in there you can it can be a bit helpful. Mm.
So what was the overall interview process at Google?
The first interview that I had was elimination round. It had it was a kind of like a medium, easy medium or medium level round. So it had three questions. Each question was modification of previous question only, but uh, it was kind of optimization of the previous question or modification of the previous question only. And uh, I had to do. It was expected that I do coding for all the three questions, and the difficulty level of the question was the first question. It was a bit easy. You can, if you want to compare it with the lead code, then it would be easy, medium lead code question. And then the second one was medium, and then the third one was also kind of medium or medium hard, you can say. Yeah. Then after the first round, there were I had three other round. None of the three round was like elimination round. Two of them were coding interviews, and one was Googliness interview, which was about behavioral questions. Second round was coding round. It had only one coding question. It was a hard question. So it was expected that I would complete the whole code and come up with the optimized solution for the question. And the third interview was Googliness round. It had behavioral question. Regarding situations, like how would you solve this particular situation, how would you communicate with the other people, all that stuff. And for this round, I prepared from few of the discussed sections of lead code. I saw like multiple interview experiences of other people, and so what kind of questions are being asked in this round, and got an idea of uh, what kind of questions are asked in this round. So fourth interview was a coding round. Uh, uh, it had only one question, and I also had to complete the code, complete code of that question. So it was a hard question, and I gave the optimized solution and also did uh, complete coding for that question.
Okay, so basically their main focus was on DSA and algorithms. So was there any, was there any questions on projects as well?
Yeah, so there were no specific discussions on project and or anything. I guess they look into the resume first, so they get an idea of what kind of work I've done. So they generally tend not to repeat the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. And what was the focus for the coding questions? I mean, which DSA topics were focused?
The first coding interview had a question on quick sum, and then there was a modified question which could be solved with the DP as well. And then the next coding interview was on graph database, had a problem on the graph database, and then the coding interview had a problem on tree data structure. Yeah.
So basically, they try to cover most of the important DSA topics. So, any toughest situation while solving the problems and how you tackled that?
One of the round, I had a graph question. It was a difficult question, so I gave multiple solutions to the question, but none of them were optimized solutions. Uh, and while giving few of the solution, there were few test cases which were missing, which uh, interviewer also pointed me out and kind of helped me to see those cases as well. Uh, so what I did was like try to take some time and rethink about the whole problem so that I can come with a new different solution for that problem. And finally I was able to come with the solution and give the actual write the actual code as well for that solution.
Yeah, so I think that's really helpful. So I think you summarized the interview process quite well. So what was the next process after all these four rounds, and when did the salary discussion happened and the offer was rolled out?
Yeah, so after all the four rounds, it took about a week to for the recruiter to let me know like what is the result of the round. So uh, after a week, he told me like I have done I have cleared all the interviews and we can go ahead with the next process. So after that, the team matching round was scheduled after like 2 or 3 weeks, and
Mhm.
uh, then I went through two team matching rounds and selected one team.
What is this team matching round? Can you tell more about this?
This is the unique thing. Uh, for this specific job profile, the interview rounds are same for irrespective of what team it is. If the job profile is same, then the interviews are going to be same. So what they do is like they try to match the team so that the candidate is also happy with the team he got, and uh, so overall candidate experience would be good. So employee experience would be great with this. So because of that they have this round where you are given opportunity to still talk to different managers and then decide which specific team you want to join, where you think you are best suited, and also manager also gives the feedback about you regarding uh, whether you are appropriate for his team or not. So
Mhm.
there is. matching from both the sides. So after team matching, I gave go ahead regarding the team, and manager also gave go ahead, and then salary discussions were held where they asked me about the expectation and if I'm fine with the salary offered. So in Google there is a different team which decides the salary, and after that the offer letter was rolled out, and yeah, that is it.
So was there any salary negotiation? Anything, whether they matched your expectation or how that went?
So there was some discussion regarding negotiation as well. So you can talk about what specific component in the salary you feel good, and what you don't feel, and you can negotiate the specific component. So there was the discussion as well.
Okay, yeah. So basically, they matched up your expectation, and after a negotiation, also they matched up your expectation. So at last, I would end up the session with one important question. So, what advice would you give to the job seekers?
Yeah, so I would say try to focus on coding, and also focus on other things like design and code development, like backend development, front-end development, whichever you like. Every company has a different process, so uh, try to try to prepare accordingly. And when you apply to multiple companies, you sometimes don't get selected, but don't lose hope. It is just try to learn what went wrong and apply multiple companies. And
Yeah, I think that's great and that's really helpful. So, thank you so much, Nitin, for joining this session. I think the overall experience which you shared is really helpful, and that will help resolve many doubts of many job seekers. So, thank you so much for joining the session, and all the best for your Google journey.
yeah, thank you, Shashankar. Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for watching the video till the end. I hope you have got answers to all of your questions. If you have any other questions, you can drop those in the comment section, and you can also connect with Nitin on his LinkedIn. I'll share his profile in the description. And for more interview experiences, interview tips, and interview preparation strategies, do subscribe to this channel. And if you like this video, do like this video, and don't forget to share this with your friends. So see you soon in the next video. Until then, keep watching Crack Interview with Show. Bye.